Every year, and we've planned this exercise for this weekend to comply with that requirement. We've got people from the Golden Police Rescue Squad, the Vinyl VRA. We've got John Connell up there, who's the District Emergency Management Officer, who's the administrator for the emergency management for this whole district. We've got some visitors from the Rural Fire Service. We've got Mike Colley here, who's the local emergency management officer, who, for all intents and purposes, should make an emergency operation centre open becomes a centre manager. We've got New South Wales Fire Brigade, and who else have I missed? We've got some people from the SES, obviously. Thanks. A pretty good cross-section of people who are involved in emergency management in our two shires. Later on in the day, we'll have someone from the New South Wales Ambulance Service as well. Two elements to this exercise for this weekend. The suggestion came from a couple of different areas, that one of the things that we should be doing is testing our ability to respond to a crashed aircraft. And the way we find out about that is through the activation of an EPIRB. This is reasonably new technology to search and rescue in this area, and we've been able to get some of our police trained. They're going to pass that training on to you. It'll also include an element of a land search. We've had some land searches in this area recently, and John Hedges spoke to me recently and suggested that it would be timely for us to go through some procedures. Not all that long, actually, that the New South Wales Police Service and the State Rescue Board have adopted some land search standing operating procedures. Phil Downs has done a course on that and is now fully accredited, and he'll be passing on some information to you. A little bit of housekeeping stuff. We've got this facility here available to us. We've got toilets and a kitchen right beside us there. We've got accommodation booked for at least 25 people. There's a cottage down below us where we are here. It's called the old schoolhouse, and I think that sleeps 8 or 9. We've got flat 3 on the flats up above the road here. We've got another cottage further down below that, and we've got the old Station Master's cottage on the top of the hill. It's all been paid for by the State Rescue Board. They've allocated some money for us, so they've provided money for the accommodation and for food. We'll be provided for food tonight by the SES, breakfast in the morning and lunch tomorrow. We go through tomorrow as part of the exercise, and at this point in time we're going to be very flexible about what we do tomorrow, and it will really depend on how we go today as to exactly what we do tomorrow. And we'll make that decision later on tonight after we've had a bit of debrief, and we'll pass that on. The first part of the day now is going to be Phil doing some introductory stuff for the use of EPIRBs. We'll do some hands-on stuff, trying to familiarise ourselves with the equipment, and then we'll go out and do the scenario. Phil's got a couple of PowerPoint presentations here that he'll do for you, and hopefully that'll tell everyone exactly what we need tomorrow. Are there any questions? Really? Any comment, John?
Just one thing. With an exercise, it is a testable plan. So we won't be testing individuals. Okay. Everybody comes to these things thinking, yeah, I'm under test. But we're testing plans and procedures. So if you've got any comments, any feedback you can give us whatsoever to try and improve the way we do things, the debrief this afternoon and again tomorrow is time to do it. And I know you guys are going to be pretty open and forthcoming, so don't hold back. So after a couple of beers you might become a bit more forthcoming. So have a good time, enjoy, but at the same time learn. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, mate. Phil, it's yours.
Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Phil Neal from the First Rescue Force, and also we've got Beth Reserve and White Oaks as well. We'll also be assisting. What we've actually got planned for this weekend are a range of things, and we're probably going to jump the gun a little bit at the moment. What we want to do is get you people familiarised with this direction finding equipment, go out and play with it in this area around here, and then within the hour actually be given a staff situation with all the resources that we've got, go out and find the EPIRB. So, and then tomorrow I want to run you through some search type search formations and some ideas of what you can do actually forming up the search team. So ideally, it probably would be advantageous to do that now, but time's of the essence. So we can reflect tomorrow what we've done today and see how we can adjust that into what we see tomorrow on the search training PowerPoint presentations. The main aim of this weekend is to utilise the equipment. It's new equipment to myself. Also some of our digital mapping equipment and interaction with our equipment and your equipment such as GPSs and communication such as your radio equipment. Also using the equipment and just seeing how accurate it is or how inaccurate it is and the type of problems that it can actually get with it. What I've done is I've just prepared a very small quick PowerPoint presentation on distress meters. There are some of you here that probably know exactly what they are and how they work and know all about it. Obviously there will be those that perhaps don't know what they are and what it is a distress meter. So we'll work through that shortly. A fairly simple piece of equipment to use, although being electronic, it does have its problems. With radio signals and so forth, there are reflections, can give you false readings. What a lot of people do when they first pick this up, like most electronics, they turn it on and they just point and go and that's it. Basically that's what we've got. But there are some problems that can occur with it that you need to be aware of, and we're trying to hopefully iron that out if we can reduce some of those reflective problems just out here around the paper end before we go. The other thing that we need to know is what sort of tone that we're actually listening for. There's a couple of different types of tone, but there's one main EPIRB tone that the aircraft hears, the Bossar hears, and once we know what tone we're listening for, that's what we're aiming for. Before we actually go into the PowerPoint, I'll just let you listen to the tone. You can just put that up there. Has anyone tracked the EPIRBs before? That's now activated, and just for the purpose of the exercise, it's actually a training EPIRB. It's not an authentic EPIRB. EPIRB EPIRBs generally run on 121.5 megahertz. This is a training EPIRB from OSAR, and it's transmitting on 121.4. So by us activating this and the one later on that's going to go off in this scenario, hopefully we don't have the rest of the helicopters. They know we're here this weekend with this equipment, so some aircraft that may fly overhead may still dial in and hear this on 121.4. Okay, so we shouldn't get a response. That's basically the sound that an aircraft hears, or anyone with this DF equipment hears. And the intensity of that signal with this directional antenna is what you're aiming for. So I'll just run through the PowerPoint, and I know that there's quite a few of us here. This probably won't all get a go at the moment, but once you divide yourselves up into the search teams, need to have at least one or two that are fairly competent in it. When we get back this afternoon, there's still enough time, enough light, have a play with it. Tomorrow, do it again. Because that's really what we want to do, is hopefully we'll have some of these in the area soon, and you may need to go and use them. Any questions so far?
Yeah, what range?
About 12 kilometres, and that ultimately varies depending on the height and the height of the EPIRB.
Once you use it, can you use it again, or is it thrown away?
Yeah, it's got like a battery that we can't replace. That's got about 6 hours of battery in that.
So you just put a new battery in it and
Yeah, but we can't do it. It has to go back to the manufacturer to replace it. Like most EPIRBs, you can't replace the battery yourself. They've got to be replaced by the manufacturer.
The reset, we reset when they're...
Yeah. Well, you just turn them off.
Yeah.
I'll just sit down and do this, so it's a little bit easier to work our way through it. What is the distress beacon? Well, all of this can read, so I won't sort of read right through it. Commonly known as an EPIRB, a PLB and an ELT. The most common word is EPIRB, but EPIRB is basically used for the marine environment, and that's where they really originated from. Personal locator beacon generally is the type that perhaps some of you might have been issued with if you go out far out west, or just for your own safety. The little red one from GME, that's virtually a PLB, and an ELT is what the aviation is. A lot of aviation ELTs, upon impact, they will automatically deploy, activate. But they're all known as distress beacons, and they all transmit, on this occasion, 121.5. So the 121.5 is the one that we're going to be tracking today, but on the training frequency. Unfortunately, being an analogue transmitter in 2009, like everything else, is switching over to digital, and will then all be going to 406s. With the 406, they're quite expensive at the moment, but like most things, they'll get cheaper. The beauty of the 406 is that it's digital, and there's a certain amount of data stream that gets transmitted and received from the EPIRB up to the satellites and back down again, back down to OSAR, and can actually give you who owns the EPIRB, where they are, so then the police or OSAR can ring up that person. Are you home? No, he's not, he's out fishing. So it will reduce a lot of false alarms. And also some of the 406 EPIRBs have the ability to provide coordinates as well, latitude and longitude. For the purpose of today, though, we're only using the 121.5. The 243 is the military component. Primarily monitored and detected by AMSA, by the COSPAT-SARSAT system, which is a French, Russian and American satellite system, which was put together a number of years ago to detect EPIRBs. They can be detected by aircraft in flight on VHF radio, such as their dial-up radios. They dial it up to 121.5, and they'll hear that sound that we heard before. When they hear it, depends on their height. They might first hear it at 15,000 feet, so their arc is quite large. So it could be within a 30 square kilometre, which is probably fairly hard for us to get that information and go out and know where to go. But then as they get more passes of aircraft, or the COSPAT-SARSAT system detects it, it's starts to triangulate and reduces it down to opening within a kilometre. And also detected by SAR authorities by this direction finding equipment. Just for the purpose of the exercise, everyone calls direction finding equipment DF equipment for short. So when I say that, you know what I'm talking about. NAS is generally the first authority to detect the beacon, and they'll usually deploy an aircraft straight out to the location because the 121s are running code. It could be an aircraft which they're responsible for, the SAR, or it could be a bushwalker. They don't really know. So they have to act on the EPIRB and fly out. Quite often it's bushwalking, which is really the police's responsibility, but it's already over and done with because they're there to rescue a helicopter and the job's finished. After 2009, that'll be a different story. The police will get a lot more calls. Even so, the 406s will be given the information. They can do a lot of homework before they get there. Funnily enough though, the 406s, you can't track them with the direction finder on 406. You'll still need this direction finder here to track it because they will also transmit 121.5 for direction finding capabilities. So there's still a few problems there that council has to work out in what direction you're going to go with. In the event that an aircraft can't get to it and it's on land, police are advised and will have to instigate a search. Handheld unit, this is what we're going to use today, and it's on RX 3DF 121 meg, consists of receiver and directional antenna. It's not like a television antenna which receives from all over the place. You point it, it will tick an arc to where the signal's coming from. It's got a gain control on it with the volume, signal strength meter, normal tone, which is that cycling tone we just heard then, and a ticking tone, which may not work all that well here because we're fairly close to this EPIRB. That's it there. Now the double beep you're hearing there, that indicates to us that it's in the test mode. We'll hear that every 5 seconds. So we're not tracking an authentic EPIRB. That ticking, for those of you that are going to be using it, when you get close, probably within 500 metres, you'll find it a lot easier to flick it over to the tone, this tick tick, and it's a lot easier to track in on it. But you'll work that out once we go into play. Put headphones on if you're out in the boat, if you need to go on the boat. With the sound of the wind and the motor, you may need to have the headphones on just so that you can hear it and get the proper direction from it. And this model here is a dedicated unit. We can also flip it over and detect 121.5 EPIRBs. If we were to go out and buy one of these, we probably wouldn't get one that has the test frequency on it. To buy them as they are, they're about $750 on mass production. To buy this unit, about $500 dearer because it does the test before. Used on land or marine, is not waterproof. Please, if you go in the water, do not drop it in the water. I'll have my head on the top of it. Now the range is essentially line of sight. Can be up to 12 kilometres and even further, depending on the height. So when you get the situation today, if you can't get a signal, it's probably because it's not in the line of sight. You need to get higher or move somewhere else. Okay? So when we leave here today, for the situation, when you can't get it, just think laterally. Where can I go to get a big long vision? Just get some height. Start working things out. Okay? It's entirely up to yourself, but if you've got an idea of how radio frequencies work and radio waves and line of sight, you can start to piece things together. The beacons, the signals will be either vertical or horizontally polarised, depending on the position of the beacon. The direction finder must match that polarisation. As it is now, if it happens to be wherever it is, activated like that, that's vertical. If we track it like that, it will work, but not very well. So whilst you're doing your arcs and listening for the signal, and you're not getting anything, and you do a 360 and you still get nothing, try that. Because the aircraft has crashed, or the person that's activated the EPIRB, maybe like that. So if we're going like this, we're not going to get much of a signal, if any at all. If we go like that, we match the polarisation, and we'll get it. Once you start to get a signal, you'll know whether you need to go horizontal or vertical. So keep an open mind. You're using this 360 vertical. Even if you do get a signal, try and go horizontal. You know that the arc that it's in, go horizontal, try it. A bit duller or nothing, you know that vertical is what you want. Okay, fairly simple, like most radios and so forth. So why don't we start passing that around, just have a quick look at the controls. Turn it on, select your volume, set to the normal mode, which is that initial EPIRB sound that you heard, signal. Adjust the gain control for weak or distant signals. The more gain, the weaker signals. Something that's further away needs a higher gain. Low gain or closer signals. As you track in on the EPIRB, you'll probably notice by with every 10-15 seconds even closer.
Range of binoculars ran out light, but they haven't in actual fact not, you know, it wasn't a decent first aid kit on the boat, but we didn't have a good one. They're all back here. So when we meet, the assumption we make of other agencies they're the same year as us. That's not the case.
Communicating.
Yeah.
So,
it's got a checklist or something.
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there a checklist that we could put together to
I think maybe.
There's a fairly good chance of the SOPs, which is good. You might have said, not
So, with that, would you say tomorrow we keep each individual agency?
No, I think the agencies work well together. The assumption is I make that red on first aid kit, I won't make mine. Who's got a pair of binoculars? Oh,
it falls down to the team leader taking his team aside and saying, okay, these are all things we need to get, where can we get them from?
Okay, so can we do that at the briefing by giving the team leader a checklist?
Yeah. Depending on the team, like a guide or something like that. And then walk out of the building or whatever and get the team together. I mean, at no stage was the team all together, except when we got down to play, which was hard.
Right, so there's another thing we've solved. We'll put together as part of our
keep it. That's got it done, isn't it? It's like this. We were down there waiting. We went up and told them up here, we said we've got to get out in the safety office, we'll get out and we'll wait for them to come back. Up and there, yeah. So we're the old fisher, no? No, we
The idea of that is so that you can also know what the police have to do and why we're doing something. Got 4 on to get through, and I'd really like to get them over and done on 1 o'clock to get underway if we can. So I'll go through them fairly quick. And I won't speak through the whole lot of them because there's a bit of there, just quickly read through it and we'll get to some of the main points we're talking about. We'll go through what the actual arrangements are. The National Search and Rescue Arrangements. This is Australia's search and rescue region, which is about 11% of the Northern surface, which is basically what OSA are responsible for. They detect EPIRBs in that whole area. And they go off, take about 20 a day in that area, and probably 80, 90 Search and rescue is broadly defined as the employment of available personnel, facilities, and rendering aid to persons in distress. Primary responsibility, ensuring a sale operation can be promptly initiated and prosecuted with the efficient use of available staff resources until rescue is effected or the chance of success is no longer a reasonable possibility. And that's what we've got to look at. We continue on the chances of success. What that will be. Which is quite often why researchers is going in. That's what we're looking at. Basically, any SAR authority that receives information that is not their responsibility, they'll take the necessary action to get it to rectify. Why do the police services have a role in search and rescue? Back in 1977, Prime Minister and the Premier signed an agreement. This agreement is known as the Commonwealth State Agreement, and there are similar agreements for each state. And basically, that agreement was the police will coordinate for search. Each state territory includes the SAR authority, state free, and SAR authority for the county territory and for the state territory. This is where we really get down to what we're responsible for and why we're searching for the different types of missing persons. Bikers and land vehicles. Bikers is a fairly broad term. Someone that's out biking, they don't necessarily have to be biking. Bigger than child go missing in an urban area. Under this, on the National Search and Rescue Manual, they're classed as bikers. It's a little read between the lines of classified as missing persons and land vehicles. All vessels in port, all pleasure craft and fishing vessels at sea within the capability of locally available facilities. If we haven't got, like many police haven't got the facilities or haven't got the available facilities from other craft vessels to get out to it, we think we're on the lost zone. Unregistered aircraft. Civil aircraft. And any spacecraft, crash balloons, many spacecraft. And, of course, in respect of other airports, search vehicles on land. 2009, that very well may change when the 406s come in. Or even now, they're coming permanently. When the 406s on land as well, and we'll be responsible for that. We've been on land, that also includes inland waterways as well. Search and rescue authorities are AMSA, based in Canberra, Australian Defence Force, and the State Territory Police. So it's those three authorities there that need to, when they get the information from the staff, to pass it on to the correct authority, one of those will then to that particular authority, and then take the appropriate action. When you look at it, it says personal education, everything that's part of the service aircraft, volunteer organisations. Distress beacons. Basically, when teamwork of their own teams, check the condition of team personnel equipment, report any injuries, deficiencies to the field search coordinator, and provide the field search coordinator with report on completed tasks. Any questions on that? Pretty straightforward. A lot of it's common sense and it's things that we can do in any case. With the search area, the determination of the search area is calculated by plotting the distance travelled from the last sighting of a missing person to the extremity marked on the map according to what we're doing here today. Yesterday it's a little bit different. Obviously we've got a particular tracking to it and we run on that to the display of the missing person. This is what happened. The search area is divided into two areas, a possible area and a probable. A possible search area. Next to the radius, divided by the speed of travel, by the time we use our search radius. These are telling you generic speeds of finding a missing person to do depending on their physical condition and their running abilities. Open country 5 kilometres an hour, easy scrambling over rocks, canting about 3 kilometres an hour. And then you can go through a thick scrub, 1 to 1.5 kilometres per hour. That calculated out on a certain speed and time, if that was a possible search area, then I know that a probable search area would be. Probably the most likely spot where someone would be. Sorry? This is probably outside. The reduction of the possible search area to the probable search area requires evaluation of the factors of the missing person that may reduce their distance travelled, road searches, and their effects. So we went back to that. We started to look at some barriers that they may not be able to cross, possibly they may not, but we're looking at probabilities here.
Slow down the travel, see what it will do.
Now, this is not hard in the past, but it just gives you an idea of starting here. What the probabilities are. Let's go.
Yeah.
Physical condition,
Just
agency,
breaking out.
experience in the general area. Period of availability.
I'm happy. Who's the price?
Or a paint.
Probably, we're talking about probability.
Yeah. Or who you trying to get to.
Well, there's no reason.
Brad. It was Brad Pitt or, Mel Gibson or somebody like that. 3 miles would be pretty damn far.
Sorry I asked the question.
No, you're all right.
So you should know that. Males over here and females over there.
I'll get lost to see how far you come and rescue me.
What you've got to do, you've got to look at all the probabilities and all the factors, the age, the physical condition, the weather, general knowledge of the area, a whole range of things. You then formulate.
I'll just try it anyway and then check.
Probable search area after the missing person personal factors. Could be there. That's one of the major problems. Obviously, if the person wants to cross the rivers and been in the water,
Yeah, it gives you our best number, but
been in scrub before, close to the bush, is a office and not the
I'll just
elders.
have to just listening and
Look after that, get out of the scrub. And there's always one outstanding factor. This is probably has a meaning to it, and it just has that extra
yeah.
essential that the search area be segmented into task areas.
Okay.
And you can natural features such as rivers, creeks, ridges, entrance spurs, shorelines, etc. We don't want to say go from this latitude to this latitude or this two rivers to that two rivers. We need the search team on the field area to be able to build a search between this river.
Now, Brownie, climb on the boat.
I totally agree with you.
I reckon we go and talk to him a bit.
Yeah.
What's the go, Brandy? I've got to get out and swim now, have I?
Yeah.
We'll do us a favour and get a photo of this as we come in. Thank you.
Throw the road when we get there.
Boat trailer in the water far enough, Pete?
We shouldn't do this, Pete. Throw the rope, quick, Sue. Throw the rope.
What's that nickname of yours again, Pete? Steggles, isn't it? Oh, you've got web feet now.
Yes, Floodboat 1, forward control on simplex, over.
Bugging ya. You had your butt. I can see. You had your butt.
Sorry.
Who's the brick? What?
What? Were you talking to me, were you? Not enough. Just got another bloody 3 months to go. Thank you. Camera?
But you won't be anyway to start, so you're not, yeah, I mean,
It's in the car, in my
you're not going to get enormous, are you? What do you think with, I don't know, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable at the moment. When your stomach stretches so much and you got under the breast. Oh, I had it when your belly button felt like
That's all right. One, two. I'll take all your photos of it.
up here.
Oops! I did it again, baby. Yeah!
What led you through the hopelessly tangled underbrush of private security organizations to our door? Stellar word of mouth? Our fine client roster? Those flyers we put up in that public urinal?